The mission of the New York Transit Museum is to preserve and maintain the history of the New York City transit system, whether that be buses or trains or railroads. And we're really excited today to have 4 of our vintage buses here on Governor's Island. This is the very first time that many of these buses have come out to Governor's Island, even though some of them have been running since the 1940s. Most of them ran in Manhattan and in parts of Brooklyn. And we're really excited to have the Transit Museum's buses out on Governor's Island, reaching new audiences and exploring new parts of the city.
The purpose of an event like this is to connect younger New Yorkers. We're not old enough to understand the transit heritage of the city. Behind me are 4 different nostalgia buses. The oldest one dates from 1949. It's also sometimes known as the Honeymooners bus. It is not the identical bus that the fictional Ralph Cramden drove, but it is of the same year and make. It was built primarily to serve a large number of passengers to ferry and subway terminals. That accounts for the large front door, the idea being you'd have a lot of people getting on and off, and therefore you need a large size door.
What do you think of these seats?
They're really comfortable.
Yeah.
Number 9098 behind me was one of the first buses in the New York City fleet that had plastic seating, which was designed to deter vandalism of the upholstered seats, and also was one of the first to have a push-type exit door, where an exiting passenger could push the door out and control his exit instead of the door being controlled directly by the driver.
And I like the steering wheel.
The 2 buses in the middle are known as fishbowl or new look buses. They were called that because of the large front and side windows made the inside of the bus very visible, much like a fishbowl. They also introduced a newer seating arrangement where most of the seats were actually facing the aisle, the idea being it would be easier for standing passengers to move to the rear of the bus. The 2-tone blue and white one is the newest, was built in the late 1960s and rebuilt in the late 80s, and actually lasted until 1995. It was one of the first buses in New York City equipped with air conditioning, which is now a standard feature.
You get to see what buses were like before air conditioning and power steering. Power steering, as far as the turning radiuses, helps a whole lot. So while these buses are enjoyable to drive, it's more physical work.
We have to keep it vintage, and some of the parts are hard to find and hard to maintain.
On our way here today, 2989 and 9098 both broke down. While these buses are maintained well, there are very few guys that know how to work on these buses that are still here. Most of those guys are retired.
These engines are a little, I would say, outdated. Certain things underneath the bus to keep them together are hard to find also. I've been in maintenance 15 years. When you look at anything, you can pretty much fix anything.
I like interacting with the public. When you get the older folks, you actually see them reminiscing of their younger years, and they'll talk about it. You see life coming back into them, so it's really nice when they get involved.
It really gives a moment of awe to the younger children who don't ever see buses that look like this. So it's a really great way of connecting our collection at the museum and the history of transit in New York with new generations in different places all around the city.